welcome to the new tutorial where we would be learning about loops. So my first question to you is that I'm giving you a question. Let's say if you had to print all the numbers from 1 to 10, what would you do? What's the first thing that would come in your mind? Most of the people would simply start writing something like this, that is print 1, print 2. There is no wrong in this. I completely understand that this is also the correct way. But the point is that why do you need to write this print statement so damn many times? It's completely working fine, right? Cool. But let me introduce you to the loops right now. All right. Loops is basically something that repeats itself. In programming, loops are created to repeat a set of commands. Every loop has a looping variable that controls the loop, and we update the value of this variable every time after a certain condition or threshold is met. And then the loop is terminated. Let's understand this with an example. But yes, one thing you should know that every language has two main types of loops. One is while loop and another one is for loop. Right now, we would be working with the while loop, and I have named this file as loops while loop. All right. So now let's take the same problem which we were talking about. That is problem of printing from 1 to 10. All right. So now what you need to do is that if there was no such thing known as loop, then we would had to write 10 lines that I was showing you basically. Okay. So definitely you would not like to write 10 lines together. Nobody would love to write that many times of lines because it's not feasible. It takes a lot of time to do that, right? So let's know how to do it with the help of while loop. So do you see this while condition? I've already kept it written for you. While condition, the body, the statements, and then we write the update expression. So what is this condition? This condition is basically a Boolean expression. So we have to use a Boolean expression here. Every time the loop repeats, it checks whether the condition is true or not. If it is false, the loop terminates. All right. So while, if this condition is true, then it will work. This is the block of the code which we will be writing. It will work, or else it will just terminate the loop and it won't work, whatever is written inside that. All right. Then comes the statements or the body. So this statements is actually the body that whatever we want to repeat several times, we would be writing that inside this. Then we have update expression. Update expression, to terminate the loop, we have to make certain condition for it, which is initially true and later it becomes false. This is achieved by using a looping variable, whole value we update in each loop. Now, for the question that we were talking about, printing 1 to 10, let's print from 1 to 10. I'll write down while. What's the condition? Before we start with while loop, there is also one thing which you need to mention, that is a looping variable. So let's say I is equal to 1. All right. So this is the looping variable. All right. Now let's talk about while. While I is less than equal to 10, print, what do you need to print? You need to print I. This is the body. And then we need to update the expression every time. I is equal to I plus 1. All right. So this is how you work with while loop. Let me just quickly run this and show it to you. Have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's running till 10. But now let's actually see how this exactly works. Okay. So let me first just make this 5 so that it's easier for you to understand. See, it's running all the 5 numbers. Talking about plugins. So I had installed a plugin over here which was known as Prettyfire. Yes, see, Prettyfire Python. This was the one which was changing it. Lambda to lambda. So let me just do something quickly. Let me just oh, do I not have the way out? All right, never mind. I wanted to actually show you how to install it again, but I guess never mind. You have seen how I searched it, right? In the settings, it's plugins, and then you have to just search for Prettyfire, and once you search for Prettyfire, you'll get that, and you can simply just click on install button over here, and that's it, how you do it. All right, now like coming back to this, how we work with this, let me just take out the annotate thing over here. So I guess you can see my pen. Yes, perfect. So how is this working? First of all, this is our variable, right? This is our variable, which is equal to 1, right? So this variable, it's equal to 1 for the very first time. Now, while I is less than equal to 5, while I is less than equal to 5, if I talk about the condition is now true. I is definitely less than equal to 5, right? That is 1. So my first condition is 1 is less than equal to 5. And this is definitely a true. So it will print 1. Now it prints 1. After it has printed 1, it will change its value. So what will this do basically? This would, what is the value of I? I is 1. What is here? Plus 1. I'll just add 1 over here, and now this is 2. Cool. So now the value of I is updated. That's what you mean by update expression. Now the value of I has been updated, and you go back again to this loop. Again, you would check for it. 2 is yes, less than 5. Now 2 is less than equal to 5. This is also true. It will print I, it will print 2 over here, and again it will increase the number by 1. That means 2 plus 1 is now equal to 3. So it was 2, I's values was 2 from previous updation, now it is 3. Again it will check, definitely 3 is also less than equal to 5. This also goes true. Same thing, again printed 3. Next comes to 4, that means 3 plus 1 is now 4. Now it will again check that whether 4 is less than equal to 5 or not. Yes, definitely it is, right? Now let's come to the next part, that is, after this value has been written as 4, we have I as 4 already, and we are adding a number over here, and this makes it 5, right? So 4 plus 1, when it is 5, it will again go to this to check the condition. After it is checking the condition, what is it? 5 is definitely less than equal to. Over here, this equal to sign is working. 5 is less than equal to 5. So this thing again stands true. Again stands true. All right. So now it will print I. That means it has printed 5. And then we have I is equal to I plus 1. That means it's now 5. I was 5 before. Now it is 5 plus 1, which is equal to 6, right? So now what will I do with 6? 6 goes in here. Now we check, is 6 less than equal to 5? Definitely this is a false statement. So what will happen? It will just terminate the loop. You remember I said that whatever is inside the block is known as indentation. As and when this condition becomes false, it will not go inside this loop anymore and it will just come outside the loop and it will just stop working. So that is how the while loop works. Okay. Now, since the condition, so basically what I said was that initial value is I. Every time it is compared by the condition and we are increasing the value by 1. And then when the condition over here is false, we just terminate the loop and you get this as the answer that is given by the compiler. So I would like you to make the table of 2 with the help of the while loop. Like pause the video, write down the table of 2, think about it, how to deal with it. What do you need to write down when you are writing down the table of 2? How you loop it? What should be the condition? What should be the statement? What should be the update expression? You need to think about everything. So I highly recommend you to pause the video. I'll be doing this after like a minute, but still pause the video, try doing it yourself. It will give you a lot of confidence. All right. Before getting into the solution of the 2's table, what I would like to tell you is that what if I do not give this statement? Let me just quickly run this statement and try to run it again. See, you see infinite loops running. That means infinite number of ones you are getting and it's never ending ones. So this is known as an infinite loop. Okay. So if you don't have update expression, it will never terminate. This I will remain always as 1 and 1 is definitely always any day lesser than 5, right? So that is the reason this condition always remains true. Even there is one more thing. Let me just quickly stop this. And if I would have, okay, see, I've interrupted it. And yes, let me quickly just change this value to true. And print I, that means it will be printing the value of I, which is 1. So let me quickly run this. See, it's running an infinite loop, right? So what is this basically doing? That it will run till we manually do not stop it running, and it will be literally infinite. So update expression, what does it do? Basically helps you to reach that condition, and when the condition becomes false, it will simply terminate it out and then it will start, like, it will just print whatever you want. That's it. Now coming back to the question, that was me writing the table of 2. All right, so if I need to write down the table of 2, what is the first thing that comes in your mind? All right, the table should start from 2. All right, that is also one thing. But With that, there is also one more. Let's write it till 10 multiplied by 2. So again, I write down while. Since we are writing the condition, that is I is less than equal to 10, print, we wrote I before, right? Now I'll write down I multiply 2. Okay, and we need to definitely update it. So I is equal to I plus 1. Let's check whether this works or not. Cool, it works great, perfectly fine. All right, now we can also add to make it look better. Now what to add? I can simply write down I, comma, and then I can write down this. This is a string. So let me use this sign. Let me use again a comma. That means 1 multiplied by, now let me write down 2 and give equal to sign and a space, and then one more comma is required. This helps to categorize how you will be writing different strings all together. You can also write this down all together, not an issue. So yeah, cool. Now if I run this code, have a look. Does it look cool? It looks perfect, right? So this is how you can write down the table of 2. I would highly recommend you to think of another way to do this, because there is just not one way to do everything. There are several ways to do some things. So I want you to find out a different way and comment that down below. And this is it for the while loop. Next, we would be learning about the for loop. So I would really like you to practice while loop before proceeding to for loop with different examples like print from 1 to 10, print from 1 to 100, or maybe print the table of 15, or you can also try printing the opposite direction thing, that is from 100 to 90, something like this. All right, so that's it for this video. Let's meet in the next video. Till then, have a great day. Thank you so much.